Good evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, and a very, very warm welcome to you. This is Vijay Jogia on another episode of Chai with Vijay. Cheers. We are now live on Facebook and on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, Chai with Vijay Jogia. The purpose of this show is to invite professionals and various achievers to come and talk to us about the current affairs in the areas of their expertise. Our guests come here from all over the world. And the subjects we cover in this program span from, say, Bollywood to law to immigration to charities to sports to cricket, whatever you want to discuss, we are here to discuss. We will bring you new news on the current affairs. Furthermore, this program is to provide information. Here there is no money exchanged, nor there is no discrimination or favorism against any individual or any organization. So, the purpose of this show, in a nutshell, is for your information and for your entertainment. So, without a further ado, I am really excited, really delighted to introduce you our guest for today. This gentleman has already been on our show before, and he is one of Sydney's, in fact, one of the Australians and New Zealand and the Fijians best well-known lawyer, well-known solicitor. He is expert in commercial law, family law, as well as immigration, and with regards to all the court matters. He's been in the industry for almost 30 years, right? So, guys and girls, let's bring on stage our guest for today, Mr. Harish Prasad from Mr. Harish Prasad and Associates. Harish Prasad, welcome to the show.
Yes, Vijay, nice to talk to you again.
Nice to talk to you, and I really want to thank you for taking out your precious time and joining us this way. This is your second, obviously, appointment, and we'll try and bring you again. The good thing is that when you came here last time, we spoke about this was about two weeks ago. We spoke about the lockdown. We spoke about the students stranded here. We spoke about lots of things, right? Today, let's start the show with tell me about yourself. What have you been doing in the last 2 weeks? Then we can get
Well,
into it.
Vijay, my office has been functioning all this time, unlike a lot of the other businesses that have been forced to shut down. But it hasn't been functioning normally. Like all aspects of life, those of us that practice in with courts and litigation, there's been a major change in that courts have now tried to um, accommodate lawyers the best they can. And what's been happening in the last couple of weeks is we have been dealing with courts through video link and through telephone. And this in itself is a very, very dramatic change for all of us, taking a long time to get used to it.
Yes, it does. And the technology is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's been working well with a little bit of, issues here and there. But we're still fighting with it. Let's go and talk about international students that we started talking to last time and now. What's the current stance on that? Students are stranded. They've completed their exams and they are financially broke, some of them maybe. What do you say to that? How can we help further, or what can you do?
Well, unfortunately, the students are as much in a state of confusion as everyone else, because just remember, this was totally unexpected what's happened. And students, like everyone else, are trying to work out exactly what to do if their visas are expiring, and that those are the ones who need to be concerned. Now, Look, everyone needs to make sure that they have a valid visa. So if the visas are expiring, they should be now communicating with the department and making applications for extensions or other types of visas. Now that's easier said than done because everyone has different visa conditions. Everyone has different uh, opportunities to seek extensions. Now, the only thing I can stress is that you should make sure that there is a valid, you continue to hold a valid visa. So don't let the visa expire because you don't know. And I should add that the department has a very good website, and most students are quite, in fact, probably more sophisticated than you and I in dealing with agencies through the internet. So if they go online and they put in their information, I find that most of the information is readily available. Now, the biggest problem I see with visa holders, and I'm talking generally now, are people who had certain conditions which prevented them from getting extensions. And it was commonly known as a no further stay condition or condition 8503, which really meant that when your visa expired, you couldn't apply for further extensions or other types of visas. Now, I can I can say with confidence that because of this coronavirus situation, everyone would be able to apply for a waiver of that condition, meaning there is a process that if circumstances have changed beyond your control, and those are the reasons why you cannot return to the country you come from, and commonly my clients are from India, um, and these are the people who will be sort of saying to the government and the department that they need a waiver so they can apply for some other type of visa. Now, now the visa that they'll apply for is a matter of choice and matter of suitability. Everyone's going to be in a different situation, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not just the students, but actually my uncle, he's here from India, and he's also stranded. He was supposed to be go back to India by 5th of May, and touchwood, he's still here. Um, on that very particular note, Harish, what do you think about the international travel? Obviously, we can't travel right now, but when do you think that might open?
Well, looking at the website again of the department, it very clearly states that if you're here on a temporary visa, you should return if you can. So if there's a possibility of people returning, I know for a fact at the moment it's almost impossible to return anywhere. But that is what it promotes or recommends. Now, what you need to do is just wait and see. You're talking about international travel now. Your guess is as good as mine. I really I don't think anyone knows. Even the state premiers don't know when these things
Mm.
will change. So, yeah, but I have a feeling that international travel will be the last restriction that will be uplifted. From what I hear, it seems that countries that are able to achieve what Australia has achieved, so we're talking about New Zealand and perhaps Pacific Islands, even Fiji, I think has done well. These are the countries that will start uh, communicating or traveling with it to each other before other countries are opened up.
Yes, and today's announcement by the PM, he wants to unlock the economy as ASAP, and he says everything has to be up and running by July, and that's not too far. That's May, June, July, 2 months. How do you think that is going to happen? And now he's put down 3 steps that he wants to go through to attain free, unlocked economy. What are your views on those?
Well,
Uh,
look, I think everyone agrees that the longer this goes on, the more of a disaster or economic disaster it's going to be. So the prime minister uh, is hoping that we can sort of get back to uh, normality as soon as we can. But I think the state premiers are independent of the prime minister, and they can each of the state premiers can decide for themselves when is the right time for them to open up. So they talked about the 3 stages. So the same way that they went through the restrictions from 1 to 3, they'll be going backwards in the same manner. But I think it's going to be still going to be a while in New South Wales, it seems. What I find quite interesting is once these announcements are made, you can, if you look outside, you already start seeing more cars on the road and more people on the streets. So it seems people are sort of opening things up themselves without the government or the premiers telling people when and how they should do it. Now, what is important, of course, is for us to realize that the risk of the virus is still there. There's no cure, there's no vaccine, and when things open up, there's bound to be more cases coming up again. So that's a balancing act, I think, that the governments have to achieve.
Yeah, I personally, I think, I mean, my views only, but personally, I think it might just be too early to open all these things up. But that's my view, and I'm entitled for my view. Uh, what do you think personally? Is it too early?
Well, look, I can't say. I'm not the politician and I'm not the premier, but I think everyone wants to be cautious. So the expression is to err on the side of caution. So I think it'll be a couple of weeks before people will be absolutely confident, and in the process, hope that something comes up in terms of treatments, cures, vaccines, and that's what's going to give people confidence to get back to normal life again.
Yeah, and in the interim, we still have to continue and be cautious. Do not shake hands and all those things that we are supposed to be doing. Stay home, which I don't
Yes,
know.
look, it's changed people's lives forever, and I think let's face it, even after this is over, we human beings are like any type of animals. We can be conditioned, and we've all been conditioned now to avoid people and avoid touching or kissing and hugging people. And even after this is over, you'll find a lot of people will continue to
Just stay home.
abide by these new acquired skills, I think.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure because we are. Um, let's just do this. Yeah, we are on safe hands, and I have lots of confidence in the PM and his cabinet, and even the opposition leaders, and they are working very hard and jointly together. So all marks to them. It's been really good.
I think in Australia we've done really well.
Yes, yes. Yeah, let's hope we continue to do that. And good luck to everyone. Let's move on to the next subject, which is of property market. Now, you go through lots of conveyancing and other legal matters with regards to property purchase. How is that? Is that still busy? Are people still buying properties for a start?
Yes, I think a lot of people who were in the market for new purchases see this as a bit of an opportunity, and I think there is an opportunity out there now. Uh, I think the market has received a major jolt, and I already have dealt with people who've managed to pick up somewhat of a bargain. They've managed to get good reductions on prices.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sorry, I couldn't see. Uh, so, like the other thing I mentioned, where courts are now working, remotely by video link and telephone, I find that the new thing coming into this area of conveyancing is a lot of things have started to happen online. So you can even enter into contracts, you can sign contracts digitally, and you can even effect exchanges
Hmm.
of contracts digitally. So I don't think there's anything preventing people from going ahead, selling and buying properties. I think that's still possible, and I think that there is an opportunity there for those who are looking around, and because there are some desperate sellers, there are people who are now trying to offload because let's face it, the market now with rental, you can see a lot of shops that are vacant. You can see a lot of people who haven't been able to pay their rent, vacating, perhaps returning to live at their homes with their parents and so on. So investing for those purposes again is getting to be a bit of a risky proposition. So I think there'll be more and more properties on the market in the weeks and months to come.
Yes, that's true. And the prices might go a bit down too. What about, let's move on to business sales. How about that? Is that still active? Are people buying, selling businesses?
Well, again, it's the same as properties. Now, if you look around, there's some businesses that have really suffered. In fact, some businesses have closed down. And But it's what happens in life. The people who look at opportunities. So if there's a good location and some businesses close down, then this is when people with money and ideas move in and take over. So I think that's bound to happen as well. I think it's a bit too early for people to feel confident about starting new businesses, but as time goes on, I think uh, those that give up, there'll be someone ready to move in as long as they have the money and the right ideas.
So this might be a good time to purchase.
Yes, for some people, not all.
Right, for those people, yes. Um, let's talk about youngsters. What's the best way for youngsters now, like today, to buy or get into the property market?
Uh, I think the youngsters normally, of course, are the people at the lower end of the market because that's what they can afford to buy. I don't think that part or that aspect of the market is going to be affected that much. There may be some marginal reductions there, but there was a lot in the pipeline. There's a lot of big developers. I'm talking about Sydney for at the moment, and I know from experience that there's a lot still available. So I think the opportunities are there for people who've saved up enough of a deposit. The banks, of course, have money to lend, so the banks would be more than happy to lend money to young buyers. And also interest rates, they're still very low, and I see no reason why it should go up. So I keep saying those people who are in the market should take advantage of this period.
Yes, of course, yeah, and I'm sure the youngsters will do that. What do you think might be the next hot items to discuss within next two weeks to 4 weeks?
Oh, look, I think people are just waiting to get back to what they call normal life. We're just waiting to see what things open up, when we can start going shopping, when we can go and buy, clothes and things like that, or go to restaurants and cafes and pubs. Um,
Yes.
so I don't think people are looking too far ahead at this stage.
Mm,
The good thing, as I said, is the government's been good in the incentives that they've given to employers and of course people who are unemployed, getting job seeker and job keeper grants, and that has really helped all industries to cope while this is all going on. But I understand
mhm.
this is all very temporary. So if things open up, I'm sure the government will be looking at closing these incentives down. Remember, this is taxpayers' money, so in the end, someone will have to pay it back.
Right, right, okay. Um, Almost coming to the towards the end of our program, but do you have any message for our audience or our friends watching this?
Well, I
What
suppose
should
the
they be doing?
message is to hold tight. This was totally unexpected. It's not a good time. I don't think people will look back fondly during this period in their lives. In fact, in our lifetime, we hope, and I'm fairly confident that we won't be experiencing anything like this again. But I've noticed one good thing that's come out of all this is a lot of people have taken this opportunity to value life, or revalue life, I should say. People have got into fitness. People have spent more time with their family. So there's some little good things that have come out of this. Um,
Sure.
but I keep saying it is temporary, and it's only a matter of time that we will be going back, and we'll just have to stay healthy and make sure that we stay safe, and by saying that, continue to follow the rules and avoid getting the virus.
Yeah, and the other thing is very very important too, is our rest of the world. Other countries, as you know, I mean, are suffering a lot more than we are. So we need to pray for them so that they can all
Absolutely.
become clean.
Absolutely.
Today,
And this thing's not going away. Just remember that not until there is a vaccine, and who knows if ever there's going to be a vaccine. So third world countries, countries that don't have the resources that Australia and New Zealand and the Western countries do, will suffer a lot more. I think, and I admire, the Prime Minister of India, that he's taken some very very drastic steps to try and accommodate this problem. Uh, but gee, you can't compare what India has to cope with Australia. It's much easier, of course. Here we smaller population and we've got more resources.
that's true. Okay, Harish, and would you mind if somebody sends me a message that I can pass it to you, and you can help us out if
Not at
there are any
all. You've got
questions?
my details, and I think I've got a web page, so anyone can contact
Yeah.
me through that as well.
Okay, fine. Well, sadly, Harish, we have come to the end of this program, Chai with Vijay Jogia. I did. I hope you enjoyed the chai because I did.
I'm about to start get my drink. I don't think it's chai though.
I think, okay. I thank the audience for watching this program. I thank you, Mr. Harish Prasad, for your precious time with us. Friends and the rest of the professionals, I would like to invite you, if you want to come and share your expertise, your knowledge, like Harish Prasad does and lots of other people do, then please do write to me, and I'll be delighted to have you on this show. Um, Apart from that, I'm Vijay Jogia, your friend, and I'm logging you out now. I'll just play this video for your. And Harish Prasad, once again, I thank you. So, once again, thank you so much, and we'll see you as soon as possible.